What's up? Thank y'all for tuning in to the Underdog Entertainment News. I'm your host, Javante.
I'm about to handle.
And you know, sometimes I have 3 agendas, but today we only got 1 agenda because I have a personal friend today, and we're talking about something very important. And his name is Jason Belton. Thank you, Jason, for coming in and stopping by.
Thank you.
I hear that you got some news to tell us today.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We're going to get into that. We got a lot of stuff to get into today. Okay, so I want you to go ahead and explain to everybody who you are and what you hear. You ain't new to the podcast.
Right.
Before we talked about some important stuff, but just let everybody know who you are again.
Right. Well, first off, I want to give a salutations to Underdog Up. You know, I am making a big announcement today on yours. A campaign video has dropped, by now. But we got to start pushing out our marginalized and disenfranchised communities, movements. Underdog Up, it's a movement.
Yes.
And me running into this election, I'm going to be the underdog, but I'm going to make sure that this campaign is a movement that move on top of South Carolina. But I'm not new to Underdog Up. It's my second time here with my sis and my bro, but I'm Jason Belton. And I'm going to go ahead and make the announcement, but I'm running for South Carolina Secretary of State. Okay. And
big thing.
It is.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you. And I'm making sure the people know it's not going to be business as usual.
Right.
I'm creating bridges, not barriers. Okay. And as you know, Secretary of State, that's who usually deal with all your entrepreneurs, your LLCs, as yours here, your 501c3s, and all your nonprofits and charities. And most of the time in our state, we have been marginalized with businesses like yours that don't have the resources, don't get the training, and not put at the same level as these other LLCs.
Right.
So what I plan to do is kick down that door and give those bigger opportunities. So we're not playing, it's a movement.
Yeah.
And that's why I chose this podcast, this news circle to push out first. What I'm doing here in the state. So thank y'all. Thank y'all.
We appreciate that. And I was going to ask you explain to everybody what that.
Yeah. So a little bit. It's a little bit more to it, but that starts it.
Secretary of the State is. So this is something that we need, especially somebody for us to be sitting in that seat.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, keep in mind, outside of even giving out the LLCs and the 501c3s and C4s and all these different nonprofits and charities, but the Secretary of State is over the voting process. When we talk about people suppressing the vote in the Black communities by things like making sure that the polling precincts are not near. Y'all recognize, let's say, the colonies, one of the projects that's in Columbia, South Carolina. When it's time for them to vote, we already know most of the folks in the projects, they're not driving, right?
Yeah, or don't know when it's time.
Correct. Yeah. So why wouldn't the polling precincts be at least on the bus lines where these folks can get to go vote?
Exactly.
Or why wouldn't we put a precinct right where we have hundreds of people already to vote? The reason being is these folks want to keep the state red, keeping under the stronghold of what they think, the GOP, which is the Republican Party. So they make sure that they make it hard for you guys to vote, which is called voter suppression. So what I plan to do is bring voter awareness, which should already be in the Secretary of State office.
Right.
But of course, a lot of times we don't know what that is because they're not doing their due diligence to make sure you know what that office stands for. And that's why we're going to take it over.
Well, don't you want somebody knowledgeable about this? This is very knowledgeable.
Right.
As far as your case,
right.
You ain't going on.
Well, I know that's the big talk right now, right?
Yes.
You know they're going.
So, years ago, about 9 years ago, I was indicted in a federal conspiracy, a federal drug conspiracy, and they tried to connect me to the Mexican cartel.
Yeah.
I've screened my innocence from the beginning. Mm-hmm. Although I've screened my innocence, typically us Black males in these communities, when we rising in these communities, they love for these type of allegations to come. They look for opportunities to crush us. Yeah.
I said movement, bring Black people together, they ain't with it.
Of course.
Yeah.
So, we can definitely explain on another podcast, but for the most part, I took the federal agents, I took the government, and I went to war with them. I took them to trial. I know you heard the song, Take That Thing to Trial.
Okay.
Take that thing to trial. But I took the government to trial because I wanted to show not only my people, but my kids and my family you know, when these type of things come against you, and people try to box you in corners and tear you down, you got to fight back. So at first, I originally, you know, got this dismissed, but they dismissed it with something called non-prejudice, which gives them opportunity where they can re-indict it when they want to. And the government was trying to leverage this with me and try to pull on my political power and try to hold this over my head. So the only way that I could really fight them back was taking them to trial. So I won after a 3-day trial. We put the federal government, we put the federal agents on the stand, and we was able to prove that they was manipulating the evidence against me. But I took them to trial and I beat them. And I ended by saying, whenever anybody try to oppress our people, if you stick with God, I can promise you, you'll come out victorious. And that's what God made me in this case. Victorious. It's not over my head no more and they can't bring it back. Right. And now, almost 5 days later, I'm jumping straight into the Secretary of State election. We're going to win this and we're going to bring the power back to the people.
Team, break to the whole team.
Yeah, you know, you're going to have boots on the ground. That's what we need to do. You know, spread that awareness because I think we need to know that.
Right.
You need to know that where you was from. You know, you used to rap and everything. One of my favorite songs is Boss For Real. That's one of my favorite songs. We been playing that shit to this day.
Right.
Yeah, so, yeah.
I mean, that's why it's very important for me to jump in this race because I'm teaching folks that are where I came from that you don't have to lose your culture. Right. You don't have to hide who you were. God made you who you were to put that out on this world, put it out in this earth. You know, so I'm not changing who I am outwardly, but I change who I am inwardly. Yeah. My heart is different now. My mind is different now, but the same skill sets that I had when I was out in the streets, I wasn't guilty of what I went to trial for, but I cannot say that I did not play a part out here in these streets years ago and over the years. But now I've learned a way to take those skill sets and apply them in the political apparatus, in the business apparatus. Right. So I'm showing all of our folks that come from where we come from that your skill sets is transferable. If you got a street team pushing Underdog podcast, well, that's the same street team that can push a campaign. If you're pushing a rapper, all we do is exchange that out and push a candidate. Right. When we pushing a party or an event, for a political event, our skill sets is transferable. Yeah. So I want to be the face of that. Yeah. We can do it.
Yeah, we stand by anything else. We can stand by the cause for real.
That's right. That's right.
We stand by. We came a long way in this politics.
Politics.
When we first heard about it from Tom Steyer, that was something that you brought us on to because we knew nothing about politics, nothing about working on presidential campaign alone. Right. And we done brought some more people in, and you done got people from the hood. Work that would never think that they can do that stuff.
Right. Well, that's just it. The eyes first came. I'm not gonna say just on me because I represent the movement. Mm-hmm. Movement is bigger than Jason Belton. The movement is bigger than Vision Walkers. The movement is us. It's no name to that. Right. It's that power that when the streets mix with the sweets, right? That's what created the big movement. But when we reflected what that looked like with the resources from Tom Steyer's, most of the establishment and the power brokers and the stakeholders of this state in the South was like, oh no. Yeah. Right. Because when we start growing, for some reason they feel like it minimizes them. So we got to keep applying that pressure. Right. That's what we're doing right now with this campaign, with this Underdog Up podcast. We're applying pressure. And I don't plan on letting it off.
No letting up.
With God behind me. Because we can't do it without God. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. As y'all know, I lost my mother in 2022, and we never stopped grieving, but it gave me another outlook on the world, gave me another fight, so I use that to keep pushing, but don't let me take over the podcast. I run my mouth. I'm from the Pentecostal church, sis. We do a lot of talking.
For real, let the people know. This is all about you and what you got going on.
Yeah, well, this is about us.
Yeah.
This is about us, not business as usual. They call it slogans, so that's mine. not business as usual. Creating bridges, not barriers. Right now, we creating bridges. I could have took this to, other news outlets. There's a few that I did some embargoes, which is pretty much, letting them know what's about to happen, but not allowing them to put it out until I say so. But I wanted my first push out of what I'm doing and me running for Secretary of State in this movement. Yeah. I wanted to bring that from a show that's already being marginalized. Because sometimes we're not always marginalized by a person. But the same thing, we talk about algorithm, right? Mm-hmm. These good old shows y'all doing, it should be 1 million views. But what happens is, the same way they don't want me to move up politically, they suppress the algorithm that y'all move on YouTube and Facebook, and they redline certain shows to make sure that you don't get the true algorithm that you should be getting, right? So we're gonna up the algorithm. Exactly. I might even put that on my campaign trail. Up the algorithm.
For real, underdogs.
Like, why? We're gonna go over that. They really like where people attention to, like what they pay attention to. What I don't know. It's weird how the city go. Like, it's hard.
Well, they want to see you win. I mean,
that would really be.
You got to think about it, bro. If all the algorithm is going to you guys' show, what does that do for the journals, the journalists that been out here moving politically for years that's getting their money? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They feel like if you eating, it's taking food off their table. That's the problem. It's not their table. Right. Exactly.
The same exact.
Because really, we can have ours, and I'm gonna take yours.
That's right. Well, sometimes you got to take, but righteously. Take what God put out there on the table for you. That's not their table.
Right.
It's just that.
We're gonna make our own and sit at it.
That's right.
They're not flipped it,
no.
Okay, as far as everything goes, you running for Secretary of State and all that, but you ain't never seen yourself being like a pastor, preacher, or something like that? I see the inquiring, but that heal me was one of the ones.
Yeah. Well, I always believed in the Holy Spirit, and that's what been leading me, especially since my mother been gone. And there's one song always stick out to me. It will always be like this. God is perfecting it concerning me, 'cause sooner or later it's gonna go in my favor, turning around for me. But the preacher is in me, and I'm this part of my campaign is gonna be spreading the word of that you can do anything with God with you. That case that I won, it was God. The movements I was able to do politically was God. I didn't finish that college degree. I ended up having to get even a GED, because I didn't make all the right choices. But that is the message that I bring, even without speaking it, that you can do it. That's my message to all the folks in the streets, all the folks that's following me. My campaign, my movement is about you can do it. I don't care who don't believe in me. God has set this path for me, for you, for Underdog. This is a ministry right here. Right. No matter how you look at it, this is a ministry right here. So I take God everywhere I'm at. So I know I can do it. I know we can bring out those votes that have been missing from the process, but I actually can win Secretary of State. I ain't just doing this just to do it.
Maybe
so. Right. So the preacher in me.
See what's crazy is the fact that you came from getting a GED and you running for this.
Right.
That's the definition of what you were saying. Talking, how you walk it.
Right.
And you a boss for real.
Right. Well, that is what a boss is. It is. Yeah, my rapping day is over, but it's in me. Yeah, that's right. That's right. They're gonna rap it right now.
Little something.
But yeah, so let me ask you a question. So people see the title, but not the journey. What's something that you've been through that really changed your mindset?
Well, Again,
Okay.
well, everybody know. Everybody is big to say, hey, Jason been through the gangs and this and that. I call it street level organizations. Right. It's not too much I changed from my past because my past is what molded me.
That's true.
Exactly. Right. People think the challenges that I've been through is what was going to define me, but that ain't what defined me. It was always in me to help people. Mm-hmm. It was always in me to just bring people up with me. So I wouldn't change anything, but my journey is what built me to do this. God taught me. The streets taught me. Mentors politically taught me. But most importantly, the Holy Spirit taught me. And that's always been around me. Always been around me.
Right, because even with if you want to go to gang related, all that is organization.
Yeah, of course. Of course. We just got to turn it into votes. See, right. when we weaponize the votes, we can take over this state. And when I say we, it's just not the people in the marginalized communities, but those who are righteous, those who want to see a real change in this world. All these things going on in the world, like Epstein files and all these different things exposing all these demonic forces that have been around us. Yeah. We got to push them out. Yeah. We got to take them out, and this the way.
Good guys in.
That's right. This the way.
On it because everybody act like it ain't going on.
That's right.
We're just moving on.
Yeah, everybody. That's right. That's kind of really sick.
We had somebody, but ain't nobody moving on.
Right.
Yeah. That's the problem.
Right. Everybody needs to as a unit.
Right. Exactly. Togetherness.
Yeah.
This is the movement. This ain't just a campaign. This is a movement. Right. This for the whites, the blacks, the Spanish. Everybody is welcome here. I love everybody with God's love. And it's going to overcome and out Trump. I ain't talking about the President Trump. Yeah. We don't even go there. But we're going to out Trump all of the foolishness, all of the unrighteousness. This is going to be a righteous movement.
Right. We really want to see change.
Yeah.
I actually want to see the change.
That's right.
Thinking.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's right.
And it's time to show up and show out for our people. If we haven't at all, this is the time to show out. And I appreciate you coming by to even bring that big news to us.
Right.
Choosing us to bring that big news.
Right.
Show them that other role.
Yeah.
That they ain't thinking about.
Well, it's opportunities, and they're not in it with that. That's why I want to run, and that's why I am running, and that's why I am going to win for Secretary of State, because it's all about opportunities. Most of the things that most of us have done in our past is because of lack of acceptance, a lack of opportunity. When you have that lack of opportunity, sometimes our minds steer us to try to get a microwave way of getting things done. But I'm showing people, if you take your time, trust the process, believe in God, you can do it. Nobody ever thought I'd be running for something at a statewide office like that. But all I can say is God did.
Definitely.
That's right.
Never would have thought that. Never seen that in the playbooks at all.
That's right.
For real.
That's right.
But that is a great thing that you're doing, though. And somebody got to do it.
Thank you.
And if I want to put my trust in anybody to do it, it will be you.
I appreciate it.
Very knowledgeable. You know how to do. You know how to do whatever you do.
You see a lot of heads.
Yeah. God did it.
And you bring the people out. You definitely know how to bring people out from the hood to what's understood.
And that's what's going to be the winning leverage in this state and changing the trajectory of the state. Is bringing all of our people out. Like you said, bringing the hoods out. That is the missing vote.
Right.
We can do it. I promise we can do it.
We're going to wait Vision Walkers back up.
That's right.
Come up. We're going to end this thing out with, first of all, before we do end it out, I do want you to go ahead and let the people know once again what you're running for and what this means to you and what you're going to be doing for the people if you do win. But we're going to say you are going to win because we're going to speak that to you.
That's right.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead.
That's right.
Yes.
Well, again, Jason Belton, the streets used to call me Boss Hood.
Oh,
emphasis on the boss. But I'm running for Secretary of State for South Carolina. The website is Jason Belton for SouthCarolina.com. Jason Belton for SouthCarolina.com. We will win this. This is the movement. This is a righteous movement. And this is a train for everybody to jump on. Let's put aside all our differences. Let's put aside where people are from. Let's motivate people through this campaign to come out so we can change and take that MAGA stronghold off this state and put a little bit of righteous in it.
Yeah, for sure. Listen,
yes, sir.
I'm telling you,
yes, sir.
Whatever you need from us.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you.
We're going to end it out with Boss for Real. Hey, I would tell you, I'm a Boss for Real. It's a Boss for Real about to do it. You're not going to take the news.
Hey,